you guys. Nice big chair here, I can just kick back.
They're very cozy, very cozy. So, Mark, you were just telling me you had an awesome picture opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but I was, my boy DDP said, hey, we're gonna go take a picture real quick for us. So I was like, all right, so I went, and, cause we were out to dinner last night with, DDP and Lex Luger, and that was pretty humbling because, you know, Lex is, he's in a wheelchair. So, you know, but it was a great dinner. We were at Ilio de Palo.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but that was amazing. I thought my Yonki was great, but then he came out with the cannoli, and it was the best cannoli I ever had.
That's what we hear.
Yeah, and for an Italian, that's, you know, that's a big deal. That's pretty amazing.
So how has Buffalo been treating you overall this weekend?
Good, man. The people are super friendly, and you know, raising money, and all my money goes to my charity. So, you know, I'm not like Mr. Shatner where he's making, you know, additional money on top of his. You realize, you know how much he got to do Priceline commercials? Anybody know? He got $500 million to do that.
So Priceline's doing well.
Yeah.
So, we were talking backstage too, the picture opportunities with Joe Montana, I think are $217, so.
Yeah, oh yeah, so Joe was back there getting ready for his line of people, and he was in the room, and so he jumped in the picture too with Jake the Snake and me and DDP and my girl Natalie, so it was really cool. So, but now I'm afraid to go over there and ask him, you know, hey, get a signing, because yesterday I went over to get something signed from Shatner, because we usually have this, you know, hey, amongst each other, you know, you trade. Sometimes the other guy doesn't want your stuff, and that's fine, but, you know, so I'm like, oh, you know, hey, can I get this signed? But you always still ask, like, you know, how much? And he's like, oh, and then his people right away, $80. I'm like, what do you do? Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. But I was like, all right. So, you know, I paid $80 for a Shatner thing, and wow. But
You're not alone, though.
No, I know, but it's like, it's great, but it's kind of like in the industry, you just kind of like, you know, you kind of take each other, you know, just like a courtesy thing, you know.
So Kevin McNally was supposed to be here as well today, but he's busy with some film that's coming up that's going to be awesome, I'm sure.
Well, actually, we just had the Pirates premiere on Thursday in Hollywood, but he had to get to St. Petersburg, and I think in Russia, for something real quick, and he's also about to do, he's playing King Lear at the Orpheum Theatre in London, which is like, it's a Shakespearean theater, it's been around forever. So
it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's like work, when it comes for work to us, you know, boom, we gotta do the job. And we love these, but all of a sudden, like when you get a job, it's like, you know, that's what pays the bills. Unless you're William Shatner, you can do or Stan Lee. These guys are like, I can't even fathom. Like, imagine walking out with $100,000 in a weekend.
I can't.
I can't either. That would pay like my mortgage and utilities for like 4 years. And that's just one weekend.
Well, I hear you there.
Yeah.
So this leads perfectly into my next question that's been on my mind and probably everyone else. What is Johnny Depp like? I'm sorry.
Dude, I think I've been asked that more than... I've probably answered that more than writing my name on a homework assignment in high school or something. No, you know what? Johnny is the creme de la creme. He's the nicest guy, and no matter where we go and we're on location, when the number one on the call sheet is as cool as Johnny, everybody else has to follow suit. You could not come there and think you are something and you're not. And nobody should ever be like that anyway, because I have one of those warped minds where I think back, what made one caveman any more special than the next caveman, or, we pay bills. So if you think about it, we pay the electric company to take our autograph, but yet you have people who want to, so what's my scribble worth? Why do people want your scribble? But I don't know. Because I don't think anybody's more important than the janitor or the garbage man, which are high-paying jobs. It's just important to me than, the President of the United States. It's like everybody had to pull their weight and be there, otherwise, we would be living in squalor or a third world country.
That's right. We've got it very good here.
Yeah.
So with the production for Dead Men Tell No Tales.
P5. We just call it P5, but yeah.
That's the inside term, that's cool.
Yeah, that's always just P1, P2, P3. I didn't see P4, so I don't know.
Oh, you didn't see it?
P5 though is really good. It's I don't want to call it a reboot. I would call it kind of like a reset, because it's a lot like the first one, and you're gonna kind of see where Jack came from. And there's some other really exciting developments in the story, and it's cool, really good. Make sure you see it.
Oh, we'll be there.
Yeah.
What was the premiere like?
Oh, it was awesome. All the premieres that we've had before that, they had at Disneyland, and it was actually a black carpet. It wasn't a red carpet, but they set the Guinness Book of World Records. Each film, they would add a foot onto the end of it. And it would start at the beginning of Disney, when you walk in, and do the circle, and then go all the way down Main Street, and then you'd hang a left and go all the way down to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So imagine everybody that's in the park that day, that's when they come and they rush the line. And so you got not just suppressed, but you got 20 people deep of fans, and it would take 5 hours to walk down Main Street, because I'm the kind of guy, I don't like to miss anybody, for autographs. So even at the premiere, this one, they moved it down into Hollywood. They shut down Hollywood Boulevard, and we were the first film. Dolby just came out with a new thing just for this film. It's the first time, and the water sound and everything, it feels like you're in the water, the water's around you, and the sound was so amazing, and it was in 3D, and it was 3D, and I usually take the glasses off and everything looks like there's a red and a blue image and then some other fuzzy image. No, it wasn't quite that bad, and I watched the whole thing and I didn't normally I get kind of dizzy or sick. No, this was amazing. They did a really good job with the special effects on this.
I really can't wait to see it.
And if you see it, you gotta go watch all the way through to the end of the credits. So we're infamous for that.
Oh, yes.
So you have to see the final scene at the end.
For a possible Pirate 6? P6?
Just watch the end of the film.
I'm sorry. What of the films so far? So 1 through 3 and then 5. What's your favorite one?
Well, 1 is the best. And there's never been any film series besides, when Star Wars came out in the 70s, that was awesome. But the only one that ever beat Star Wars 1 was Empire. Empire was the best of the, first 3 films that came out. And then the only other thing that's better is Godfather 1, but Godfather 2 was just as great as, Godfather 1. But you have to say P1 is the best because it was original, but I had a lot of fun at 2 and 3. So, and some people are oh, they were too long, and I'm no, because if you're a real fan, everything's explained, and you're always on the edge of your seat waiting to see what's going on. So if you're going to pay especially the money they pay nowadays to go see a film, I want to see, you know, my money's worth. So you're going to, anyway, go see 5 and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. If the critics bomb on this thing, I'm going to have to start slapping somebody. So.
So back to Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
What did you think of Force Awakens? Did you see Force Awakens?
I didn't see it. I didn't see Rogue One. You know why? Because my son's a huge fan, and he was disappointed. So if my kids are disappointed, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Hey, I didn't go see Kong. And Kong was the movie I was really waiting for all year, and I just been too busy to go see Kong. And I'm like, that's what I want to see, because I know they're setting up. My buddy Joel, who did all the makeup on Pirates, he's off to Atlanta next week to start Godzilla 2. So, and I heard that they're setting it up so that it'll be Godzilla versus Kong in the next one. So I can't wait to see that.
Kong Skull Island, it was definitely good.
Was it good?
Kind of new to the MonsterVerse, if you will. So that was my entry point, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Is he huge?
Oh, it was huge.
But he's not as huge as Godzilla, right? Like, how is he gonna fight? Godzilla seems like he's like story upon story upon story. How big is Kong?
Well,
is he huge?
I haven't worked out the logistics, but he's massive. And the CG on that was incredible, by the way.
Good.
I mean, I would say maybe not quite rivals Pirates, but it's pretty good.
See, I like the old one. Like, the first one in the 30s was great, but I'm a Rick Baker guy, so seeing Rick Baker walk in the suit, you know, in the 76 version, that was cool to me. And so now that everything's getting so CG, it's cool, but I still like the old Godzilla films where it's, you know, it's a guy in a suit just, you know, walking. And I could see that in the last Godzilla film, because even the monsters that Godzilla was fighting, you could totally tell it's just like 2 Japanese guys, you know, inside these long prosthetic like pieces that were flying around. So
definitely worth checking out. In the Pirates franchise, this may be a funny question. Do you have a favorite line, whether it was yourself or any character from the film? I know there's some classics out there. I have one of my favorite lines, and it's something that you said, but I want to hear your answer first.
Yeah, I don't have any good lines, but I mean, my lines are okay, but I have 2, and they're not Johnny lines. The first one is, you best stop believing in ghost stories, mister. You're in one.
Gotta love it. Yeah.
And then the other one was the very first scene we shot when we started to do P2, because that was the only time Jeffrey was there, just at the end of the movie. But that's the first thing we shot. And when he came down the stairs and says, "So tell me, what's become of my ship?" Those are the 2 classic lines to me.
So you have a line towards the beginning of P2, and you're talking to Mr. Gibbs, and you say,
"Have you noticed lately, the captain seems to be acting a bit strange." I like that.
Thank you.
I like that one.
I love that line so much. It's classic to me. That is amazing. Martin, Bob, everybody.
That was good.
So, Bob, Martin, you mentioned your family. So you have a wife and 2 kids?
I have a wife, and then I have a son from a prior, and he's 20, and he lives back in Detroit where I grew up, and my wife now, and I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Congrats.
Oh God, girls are the best, man. I never wanted one, and because I was always like, oh man, my past is gonna come back to haunt me. But man, she is just the greatest. She's my best buddy. I mean, she's into all the stuff. When we're driving, I have my TVs on in the truck, and I play stuff like Chips or the Munsters. you know, and I want to get her into like Gilligan's Island and the Brady Bunch and Leave It to Beaver. Those are the kind of things I want her to watch, you know, like good, wholesome, you know, TV that I grew up on. Because even the cartoons they have nowadays isn't like when I grew up. I mean, we woke up and you had 3 channels, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS, and from like 6 in the morning till 12, you had cartoons, you know, the Bugs Bunny Hour, all that stuff. And I was like, my favorite was Hong Kong Phooey, and you know, all these great cartoons. And now they're like, I don't know, this Pokemon stuff. It's not my kind of thing.
No. So being so busy, being on the road, coming to conventions like this, being in film, how do you overcome the challenge of being with your family?
Well, normally I'm home all the time, and you know, you get invited to a lot of these, but some of them you're just kind of like, well, you know, I was at that one, or I'm going to be at one, you know, and it's too close to, you know, where the other one is, and I'm like, I don't want to dilute it, and you know, and if you're not William Shatner, you're not making huge money, so it's kind of like, I could be home with my kid, you know, but the other thing is I do like getting away and just meeting fans and, you know, talking to them, whether they buy anything or, you know, or pay for anything at all. It's just cool to talk to people. So.
I understand as well, you've done some stuntman work over the years.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about what you've done there?
Yeah, I am truly, there's really only a few of us that do all our own stunts. Like Tom Cruise says he does, but that's bullshit. Tom does a lot of great actor action stuff, but there's no way that an insurance company is gonna insure a picture if your lead star is doing stuff that he could die. I mean, because that would be, you know, they just wouldn't insure it. Plus, you could get somebody that looks like him, and I know like 4 guys that double him. So, but with me, there isn't anybody else that looks like me. So I do all my own stunts, and it takes a toll. I mean, you know, my L4 and L5 are like jacked. My foot is numb. You know, I've been busted open on my head. I've, you know, concussions and everything else, and but it's what pays the bills.
Takes a toll, obviously. But with that, did I read that you did some stunt work for Jurassic World?
Yeah, I was all the dinosaurs that were like on, like Chris Pratt and stuff, and one of them was called a Dimorphodon, and there was a scene where I'm on him and he's struggling to get it off me, and then I think Bryce Howard, which is Ron Howard's daughter, she eventually like knocks me off with the butt of a gun or something like that. But the funny thing is, he was on Kimmel, and they started talking about it. This was when he was plugged in the movie, and they started talking about me. They wasted the whole conversation. Yeah, there was this guy Marty. You know, he was dressed up, and he was supposed to be the dinosaur, and man, he was scaring the hell out of me. Blah blah blah. And he goes, and, you know, and I tossed him off, and he cracked his head open, and Marty's bleeding, and he's like, oh my God, I killed Marty. You know, it's like, dude, don't waste your time on Kimmel talking about me, you know. Plug the film. But, you know, Chris Pratt's cool, so.
You're a cool guy. They want to
yeah,
talk about you.
really
That's
good
awesome.
guy.
So I think Jeffrey Rush brought you a right?
Yeah, today, on Chelsea Handler.
That's a big deal, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is, it's cool. I mean, I'm like, dude, what are you know, I mean, we've been together now for 15 years, but, you know, I would expect him to say, you know, Johnny and blah, 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 but to throw out my name, like, number 2, I'm like, wow, dude, that's an honor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is an honor.
So, in just a little bit here, we're going to take some questions from the audience. If you have a question that you'd like to ask Martin, we'd ask if you could make your way to the microphone, which is just a few rows back. If you want to line up, we'll do that. So with the Pirates film, like you said, 15 years old now, did you anticipate this being anywhere near the amount of successful that it is when you signed up?
I was actually working on the other ride movie, which was Haunted Mansion, And Disney had put a shitload of money, because they thought that was going to be their cash cow with Eddie Murphy. And you know the story of it, they wanted to fire Johnny at first, because they thought, dude, what are you doing? You know, they thought he was playing it, you know, kind of feminine or what. And he's like, look, you paid me $20 million, trust me, I know what I'm doing. And, you know, Johnny knows what he's doing. We're like $5 billion later. You know, that's just in the theater. Now you talk about DVD sales and, you know, who knows how much money Pirates has made.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest franchises out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney really owns the world, right? Though Pirates, Star
yeah,
Wars.
Now Star Wars. You know, they're putting on a whole building 8 acres more, and took over like Space Mountain and the Matterhorn. That's all going to be Star Wars land. So.
I know, and I can't wait. It's going to be incredible.
And they turned the Tower of Terror into the Guardian of the Galaxy. So
Yes.
that's a new ride.
So, some iconic Disney stuff that they're taking over here.
They are. They own everything.
It's
Do they own DC?
No. we just talked about that today. We're like, if they get DC, like, that's it.
Or do they own Marvel?
Marvel.
Yes.
They own Marvel. Yep.
They want to buy what?
They want to buy DC, but Warner Brothers, I don't think it's going to give up the rights.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, well, that's all Warner Brothers has got.
Yeah. It's a big moneymaker.
Yeah, but what else do they make? I mean, what does Warner Brothers do?
Like they did the Matrix series, but
That's a while.
yeah, that's a while ago. So.
You know how cool Keanu Reeves is? He had 8 stunt guys that were part of his Matrix crew. He bought them all Harleys after the film. And he had it set up in his contract that all his residuals went to the stunt guys that worked on the film. So, but he's rich. I mean, he's rich. He doesn't need it. But for a big guy to do that, I mean, that'd be nice if Johnny got like he got 80 million to do number 5. So he doesn't need the residuals, or I guess, no, in the news it sounds like he's broke or something, and I'm like, dude, you're broke. How can you be broke? He never stops working.
Damn it, Johnny. I don't know. It's incredible.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense. So, what are some of your favorite pastimes when you're home? Are you into video games, comics?
I have every single system, and you know what my favorite system to play is?
What's that?
My Atari 2600. And I didn't know this, but I have what was called the Darth Vader version. So you know how they had that fake wood grain on the Ataris?
Oh yeah.
Mine's completely all black. And I was like, why is mine black? And then I looked it up, and it was a special Darth Vader edition. So, but I play my Dig Dug and Pac-Man and Pitfall. I love Pitfall.
All the classics.
Oh, that's the best.
Gotta love it. Does anyone have a question for Mark? Ariel does.
Is that Ariel? Yeah, it is Ariel. Okay.
Ursula gave me my voice back for just a moment so I can ask this
All right,
question.
good. And it's a pretty voice.
Thank you. If there's one actor that you could work with, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
The greatest actor of all time, James Cagney. Or Michael Landon. Or Jimmy Stewart. Those would be, today, as far as alive, I would love to work with Kevin Costner or Clint Eastwood. All Republicans.
I was gonna say
My
the same
kind of
thing.
guy. I'm one of the very few guys in Hollywood, or Hollyweird, who's a conservative Republican. But, whatever. Float your boat. But I grew up Catholic, so I'm just kind of like, Yes, ma'am.
What's one?
Oh, sorry. Just kidding.
What's one of your say most memorable or favorite moments on set, if you have one?
On any movie or Pirates?
Pirates.
Pirates, wow. You know, there's a damn Easter egg. You know what an Easter egg is on those DVDs? Gosh, damn. Gore thought it was funny, and when we were doing the bone cage, when we were swinging, we were really, really high up between two cranes, and it looks like we just keep going back and forth, which would be no big deal, but in reality, it's almost like you took one of those old pocket watches. It starts spinning, so they got the shots that they needed, but you do it enough, and it was the worst amusement park ride ever. And we were way up there, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna puke. and they're like, no, you'll be all right. I'm like, no, I'm gonna puke. And Gore was like, get it down. So I get it down, and there wasn't much holding us in. You literally really could just fall out one of those holes. So anyway, they got down close to the ground. I jumped out the bottom, and I ran to go behind the green screen, which I thought it was safe. And Gore sent one of the Steadicam guys to follow me, and there I am. That morning I wasn't feeling well as it is, so I ate 4, the most awesome chocolate brownies, and I followed it with 3 purple Gatorades. And it's on the damn Easter egg of me behind the screen going, so that was pretty fun. That was just one time that I puked. I mean, I would get seasick. We'd be out at the ocean and we'd be like, action, you do your thing, cut, and it'd be 4 or 5 guys on the side of the boat. Because when you're 4 or 5 miles out and the swells start to get kind of high, and the first movie, we were on a tugboat. I mean, we were on a barge, and they had to have a tugboat to bring us out, and every shot turn us around, whatever. Then they got smart on 2 and 3, and they bought an actual fishing vessel you would see on Deadliest Catch, and then they built the Black Pearl around it. So then they had a real captain, driving the thing, and he would get us around. But you got a crew of anywhere from 300 to 500 guys on one of these, and you're way out. You have 2 porta potties. Imagine, the stank. It was terrible. And the craft service sucks too, because you're way out there. There's no way to keep everything fresh. So you eat the donuts as fast as you can, and then if they bring out, some cold cuts, you want to be there before the flies get on it. So.
And my second question was, what inspired you, or how did you start acting?
Wow, I was in high school, and before I went to high school, when we were in middle school, you got to kind of fill out what your what you wanted to take, your freshman year. And I took drama, just thinking, I wasn't a good student, so I was like, I need everything I can to get an A, or just keep my grade point average up. So I took drama, but the summer of 8th grade, going into 9th grade, that's when my friends started experimenting, and that's when I found out about cannabis. And man, I just thought it was the greatest stuff, and I was going down the wrong road, and my drama teacher is the one who smacked me around and straightened out. So I stopped hanging out with those friends, and then I started hanging out with all my drama friends, and she did Peter Pan my freshman year, and everybody kept saying, she's gonna make you good, she's gonna make you be Tinkerbell. And I'm like, F that, I'm not playing with Tinkerbell. And because I already had a chip on my shoulder, I was always trying to be a tough guy or whatever. And but I got to play Smee, so who knew, 35 years later, I'm making a career out of being a pirate still, So it was pretty cool. But I loved it. And then I worked on Broadway for 10 years I did the Christmas show at Radio City, and then I did a 3-year national tour of The Wizard of Oz, and that was pretty cool. And we had Mickey Rooney as our wizard. We had Roseanne as the witch, and then we had Eartha Kitt, which was, she is so nice. It's so beautiful. So, but you know, then I finally made the move to LA in 2000, and I said I have to try film. So luckily, you know, it's enough to pay the bills. Luckily, my wife's a teacher, and they have a strong union, and she makes good money.
What does she teach?
Huh?
What does she teach?
6th, 7th, and 8th grade science in Burbank. So it's good. She's not part of the LAUSD, because in California, everything is like, if you're in a county, so like LA, everything, you could be in Compton, and it's just LA, so they don't really care, you know, what, the teachers just get stuck. But there's very few like little pockets where, like a city like Burbank has its own police department, fire department, and school district. Otherwise, you're just lumped in, and you know, 9 million people in a city. You know, the education's not going to be that great when you've got to teach 35 to 40 kids. You know, half of them, well, not half of them, but a good majority of them aren't even, you know, legally here, and you know, they're taking up resources and, you know, teachers' attention. You know, a nice class size is about 23, I think. So you can give each student, you know, proper amount of time. But, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I really appreciate you as an actor and also as a person.
Oh, thank you.
I share your view that people are people no matter what they do for a living, and everyone gets up in the morning and puts their pants on and wears.
Exactly.
And usually I don't agree with everything that conservative Republicans have to offer, but I certainly agree with that from you. Even
Thank
though
you.
I'm a liberal Democrat, but I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
My question is, unfortunately, a lot of actors end up getting typecast for different roles when they're first starting out and can't seem to get out of it. You have shown that the diversity of your work obviously proves that you have talent way beyond the fact that you're a little person.
Right.
I'm wondering if you ever had to separate, did they hire me because I'm a little person, or did they hire me because I'm a good actor? Because you seem to have been proven yourself as a good actor, but it's impossible not to notice you're a little person as well.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering how you separate those and be able to show off your talents without saying, I'm more than just a little person.
Right. Well, that comes down to the agent, because, like, you know what, when breakdowns go out for casting, it'll say, you know, oh, we're looking for a male, 20 to 30, 6 foot tall, maybe African American, to play a doctor or this or that, or, you know, they always break it down, but every once in a while you'll get a cool casting agent that will look outside the box and go, oh, yeah, why can't this guy be, you know, a janitor or a doctor or a policeman or whatever. And those are the ones that I really try to get in it. But the other thing is, like, even with Pirates, yeah, I mean, the character's name was Dirk, so there was going to be a little guy there, because you got to have the guy with one eye, you got to have, you know, maybe one leg or anything that's different. Because that's what pirates were. They were just, you know, outcasts from society. Kind of like bikers are today, you know. But everything that I ever do, I don't want you to forget that I'm little, but I do everything I can to make you, you know, you have to almost go, oh yeah, he's little. But, you know, it's just like, oh, he's just a pirate. Oh, that happens to be little. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to just go, think everything's I'm the butt of the joke. It's, no, I'm funny because of what I do, but it's not because I'm little. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Very successful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I just have to ask, what was it like working with Jeffrey Rush?
Wow, I never get that one. It's always Johnny Depp. But, no, Jeffrey is like a teacher. Because when you listen to Jeffrey, or you just watch what he does, he's one of those guys that, like, you know, a really well-trained actor will have all these tongue things that they go through, these sayings to, you know, loosen themselves up and stuff, but he's also got the best jokes. So he's like, it's like cut, and then it's like Jeffrey. We're all glued to Jeffrey, like, he's telling us a joke, and his laugh is, he's just got one of these great laughs, but, then you go to like somebody like Johnny, and I'm like, on this last one, he was showing me things on his phone that, like, dude, when do you have time, A, to think about something like this, and B, to go looking for it online, like, some of the most bizarre, like, human deformity kind of things. I'm like, I never knew that was, even around. It's just, I'm like, dude, you're like worth so much money, and you're just as warped as I am. It's really weird. It's like, I think of weird things, and I didn't think that other people thought about weird things. So.
I think his role in those movies are so iconic. Some of those lines, just the way he talks, is...
Johnny always sneaks in like a dirty word in like every movie. Like in the first one, when he's on the island and he's drunk with Kira or Elizabeth, and he's waking up and he says, "Dirty Sanchez." And, it's like most people don't know what a dirty Sanchez is, but he sneaks things in, all kinds of things. And every movie, I can't tell you all of them, but every movie he sneaks in like a, whoa, did he just say that?
Well, I'll be looking for it next weekend.
Yeah, there is one too. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you look for it.
I'll be looking for it. Yes?
I am a fan of Scrubs, and I
I
wanted to know.
love Scrubs.
Yeah. I wanted to know if you have a favorite memory or just like a really funny memory from working on Scrubs.
I'm not sure which time that I punched, somebody in the crotch on one of those, but there was one where I came up out of a body. And they were doing surgery, and I pop up out of a guy, and I'm like,
The karate outfit on?
Yeah. But, the first one I ever did was, it was funny because I do all that, and then in actuality, then they're wheeling me out because I was a real patient or whatever, and then he's like, blah, 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 and I'm like, well, that's a real punch in the crotch. But I thought that crew, the funny thing was, it was an old hospital, and it was right across the street from my real doctor's office. But that crew was so awesome. You were allowed to bring your dogs to work, because the first floor you filmed on, the second floor were all the old like hospital rooms were turned into the dressing rooms, and they all had scooters. So they didn't have their dressing rooms next to each other. They would, drive these little scooters to go visit each other all over the floor. And they had a professional dog walker. That's what his job was, so everybody's dogs were taken care of. And they were just a great group of guys. I mean, Neil Flynn was just, great. I like the one, I think, where we had the bet, and we're up on the roof, and I win, and the one guy's gonna jump off the building, the lawyer guy, the attorney. But I don't know, he was great. All of them are great. And Jake and Zach and Donald are best friends in real life. And Donald is the whitest black guy you'll ever meet. He drives like a jacked up, like huge truck with like big old, 30-some inch mudder tires. And he married, a beautiful white girl, and it's like, he's not a brother at all. So he's the whitest guy you'll ever meet.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
We've got time for a few more.
Okay, so you've been interviewed for like a couple of years, obviously. Is there ever like a question that you wish that you had been asked, but nobody ever did?
Well, before I was married, it might have been like, hey, can I see you later tonight? That's always nice, but
Oh, come on.
now I'm married, so I don't want to hear that question.
That's commendable.
Yeah, Martin, I'm a huge Godzilla fan myself, so I really want to know what's your favorite Godzilla movie?
This last one was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But I think the original, when Godzilla was really Gogeta. You know, that's his real name, is Gogeta. And so I think the one with Frank, was it Raymond Burr?
It was.
Yeah, that's when Godzilla was Godzilla.
Did you see the new one from Japan last year, Shin Godzilla?
Oh, they didn't. They did one after we just got done doing it?
Yeah, they did. Like a year afterwards.
How could they do it? That can't be any as good.
It actually is really good. I recommend it.
Really?
And go see Skull Island too. That one's
I gotta go see Skull Island.
better.
I gotta see it. But they're setting it up. I can't wait because, you know, that's one of those things you hear about that there was there was a Godzilla versus King Kong way back in the day. But the King Kong looked like a really bad, like, monkey, like, really bad suit. You know, it would have been cool if it was like the Rick Baker Kong versus Godzilla. And then there's supposedly you can never find it, but there was the American version where the King Kong was really good looking and the Godzilla was kind of like a crappy, you know, dinosaur-y kind of thing. But you know what the best one was when he fought the spider, you know, the big spider, and I don't know if it was like Monster Island. You know, and he had to fight like all these different monsters, and baby Godzilla, was it Godzuki? I don't know what the baby Godzilla was, but...
Probably son of Godzilla, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
What was your favorite movie of all time?
Godfather. And Godfather 2. And then, and It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, and Angels with Dirty Faces with Jimmy Cagney. So I like the old guys, so.
Thank you. So, Mark, what's...
Jaws is pretty good too.
Can't go wrong there. What's next for you?
You know, right now just doing the dad thing. And I just finished a film in China with, it had Arnold, Jackie Chan, Rutger Hauer, Charles Dance, Jason Fleming. And it's a period piece. So it's like about a guy who, I forget what they call him, guys who like make maps of the world. Yeah. And this one's a sequel, and we're in China, so it's like the journey to China. So there's like, you know, dragons and all this other stuff, but I play a captain I'm a pirate, I'm playing captain. It was very hard not to fall into, but, you know, especially they wanted me to be a drunk captain, and I'm like, God, I don't want to, like, get, you know, tied with, like, Johnny. I don't want to look like, you know, Depp. But it was a good film. I mean, I was surprised the set, you know, the sets were pretty cool.
When is that coming out?
I want to say the beginning of next year.
Sounds super interesting, and that's a pretty star-studded list.
Yeah, and then they want to do another one where they go to India. So I'm like, all right, because, you know, there's a Bollywood in India, and they got some major, like, huge stars over in India. We don't hear about them, but, you know, they got stars that are just as big as Johnny Depp's here, and they make bank, which never makes any sense to me, because if there's ever a country where there's a diverse gap between the rich and the poor, it's India and China. I mean, well, you know, if you're not one of the top, like 2%, the 98% live really bad, poor, and not good water, you know, the plumbing's bad, everything's bad, famine, food, you know, other things, diseases and stuff like that. So.
You said we have it good here. That's for sure.
Yeah, we do have it good. We never realize it. And the Canadians have it even better because they're next to us, so they don't have to worry about somebody. I mean, who's going to come and mess with Canada, right?
That's right.
Because you know that America's going to step in and they have to slap somebody. So.
Well, wrapping up, are you here for the rest of the day upstairs?
Yep.
Wonderful. So people can come visit.
Come visit, and like I said, all the autographs and pictures that I sell, it all goes to my charity to get to help get dwarf children adopted. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Very good. Can people find that online as well?
Yeah.
If they want to contribute?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
From a lifelong Pirates fan, thank you so much for coming to Buffalo.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Carter Klebba, everybody.
He thinks he's safe. Doesn't think we know his patterns, his vulnerabilities. We know where his girlfriend lives and how to get at his sidekick. He's faced one clown before, but soon he'll face the Clown Syndicate. There's more than one way to peel a potato.
Dude, what the f? Oh, my eye.